Hey guys, it's MJ from Alta Love, and I'm posting this unlisted because I'm not sure that I'll actually post it. What I'm facing or feeling into within myself is an aspect of judgment and oppression, systematic judgment and oppression. Um, and this is very much a part of my story, my personal story as a woman in the world who grew up with a single mom who studied women's studies and grew up in the church, the Catholic Church, left the church as a young teenager, and then also endeavored a degree in women's studies. I had spiritual awakenings when I was 19, which meant that I saw through the veil and knew that the world that I was sold wasn't the real world, you could say. It wasn't fundamentally true to the power and potential of human, the human on the planet Earth. And having lived in this world after having undergone those spiritual awakenings, um, what I can share with you is that the awakenings don't end. Enlightenment isn't some final goal. And I deeply want to address the judgment we have around spirituality, or what we think spirituality is, what we believe spiritual awakening is, how we compartmentalize and then fix and judge even something like spiritual awakening, something like enlightenment. That if it's not a material goal that we're chasing, we're then chasing some idea of what we think enlightenment is. My heart is active fully now, and I feel existence and experience and world and my own. And the disparity that I'm addressing within myself is the, again, judgment and oppression that I feel. And I sometimes wonder what my life would be like if I was a man. I sometimes wonder what life would be like if I was a little bit more simple looking. I sometimes wonder what life would be like if I didn't feel, and or if people didn't perceive me as somehow weak or wrong for feeling, invalid, unappreciated, and unheard. Almost 7 years ago, I did a Vipassana meditation, a 10-day silent retreat. And during that retreat, I remember just knowing, if the whole world, if all of the 7 billion humans on this planet could just sit down and breathe and meditate, that all the world's problems would be gone, that we would dissolve them. 2 days ago, one of my male subscribers on YouTube shared a video by someone named Sadhguru. Now, Sadhguru said the exact same thing, that if we could all meditate, it would be fine. And something in me just, I've said the same thing and I've felt the same thing, and yet people don't seem to hear what I'm saying. They often just, it seems like people just want me to be quiet. or people think that I'm just some stupid woman, or that I'm just some object. And I'm gonna just keep owning my life and my senses and my feelings. And what I'm sharing vulnerably with you today is that I'm still feeling the effects of oppression and systematic judgment against me as a woman specifically. That I talk about spiritual awakening and transformation and emotion and the importance of this stuff, and still people feel like they have to tell me how to be enlightened. You know, male domination is still real. Male superiority is still real, and I face it every day, and I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to address a very sensitive subject because it feels like even the idea of spiritual awakening is just taking on another materialistic divide and conquer tactic of the system. Now it's just a race. Who can be the most enlightened? Who can be the most spiritual? Who can be the most squeaky clean? Who can be the shiniest? Who can have overcome the most darkness and suffering in our world, still just to power over one another? For me, the teaching is that I don't want to tell you what to do because I know the truth that only you can find it for yourself. There is no such thing as spiritual awakening because we're already spiritual. The only awakening is our endeavoring to awaken to our own heart and our endeavor to feel the fullness of our own experience as beings. There's nothing outside of us. There's nothing material and there's nothing enlightened around us. We are the only enlightened being. Our existence wouldn't exist without the enlightenment of our consciousness. The enlightenment is not something that happens, it is something that we are inherently and naturally. And the only real crime against humanity is a perpetuation of a story that there is any power outside of us, that there is any goal outside of us. We are the reward, we are the goal. We are the ultimate manifestation of divine creation. We are the ultimate advanced technology. We are the most valuable thing in all of creation, and all we have to do is remember that. And in my own heart, I guess I am just given up because I don't want anything. I simply understand that I am here and I am of service, and that is all. I don't want for anything in this world. I am simply a creator, creating an authentic message from my own heart space. Because I don't think enlightenment looks like anything. I think that all of consciousness is already enlightened. I think spiritual awakening is a construct that we've created to help us shift the paradigm on the planet. And I suppose what I'm facing is still any aspect of division within myself. I felt disappointed by the world, rejected by the world, diminished by the world. I felt that part of my service was to uphold the men in my life, do everything in my power to bring them joy and happiness and belief and money and whatever I could. And in this past cycle, my unconscious programming has really just been to be treated horribly by men. Picked up, disregarded, denied, betrayed, deceived. And as I continue on the journey, increasingly what's apparent to me is how much easier it is sometimes for us to listen to men, because that's what we were taught. They're more important. Now, I'm just like sharing my heart with you guys. I'm not looking for answers. I'm not interested in more other people's messages because for me, my own heart is all there is in the totality of the creation that I'm experiencing. So my own heart is really endeavoring to heal the separation between men and women. To end a construct of male domination where this is so bad, the feelings are so bad, my menstrual cycle is so bad, my sexuality is so bad. Me being sexy or beautiful is just a distraction to men, not a gift, not something to appreciate. It's just there to be controlled and used and dominated and then pushed aside when it's too much or when it's too sensitive or when it's too feeling or when it's too fucking truthful. I'm tired of being told I'm too much and I'm too sensitive or I'm too sexy or I'm too beautiful. I'm tired of being told how to feel and what to think by men who proclaim to be enlightened simply because they're men. I'm tired of being told I'm too loud and too aggressive. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not blaming anyone for this. This is just my book. This is what I practice. This is what I endeavor to share with the world, that all of this stew, all of this feeling is just my own. That's why I'm sitting with it. Because I knew that there was never going to be any way to avoid it. I still face my own inadequacy. I still face my own fear of rejection and abandonment because it's happened over and over again. I still have to face the fear of showing up in a body that I love without fear of it being used and destroyed by someone else or judged, put down out of jealousy by other women who inherently hate me just because of the way that I look. And I know that you all want the spiritual teacher to just be peaceful and calm all the time, that you all want to be told how to eat and how to move so that it can be easier for you. But I can't sell you something that I don't believe in. I can't, in the integrity of my own heart, say anything that I don't believe to be true from my heart. And I know that we can support each other, we can love each other, we can vision the highest imagination for one another, but we can't do the work for one another. There's no one right way. Every being is a very, very unique signature alchemical creation. We are transformers. We are incredibly powerful. You are the only power. That's the truth. Our external creation is a reflection. And so if our world is in conflict, it's because we are in conflict with the truth of our being. And rising into authenticity and rising into your sovereignty is actually like this very, very bizarre and bittersweet experience because we're constantly shedding, constantly letting go of self, constantly letting go of egoic projection of the self, constantly letting go and dying to the old projection of what we thought we were. Transformation is deep, and the world we were sold is not. The world we were taught to buy into, it's feeding off of our own fear, is superficial and mean. I'm not mean. The truth is, none of us are. But when any of us are connected, we act, or disconnected, we act out from a place of disconnection, which is inherently painful. And I'm sharing this because I'm working out some conflict, oppressive, judgy conflict that, again, I guess I've been harboring most of my life. I seem to have been having a recollection of memory of seeing different psychics over my life who all told me that I would have to deal with a lot of jealousy in my life. And jealousy is not something that's really easy to face. And so I can understand that there are plenty of people that have been in my life that don't want to face that, that don't want to own that. They'd prefer me to be their slave than to admit they might have jealousy against me. You know, I've kept myself pretty reclusive and I keep myself pretty quiet because most of my life I always just felt like people didn't like me very much. Now I realize it's just systematic judgment and oppression. They don't mean to not like me, but they don't know how to make sense of how they feel in my presence. And so people just see wild hair or a pretty face or boobs. They don't feel what I'm saying and they don't necessarily hear what I'm saying. They just like it. Sometimes I get really tired of being a woman. I get really tired of pretending like it's all okay and we could just think positive and just keep meditating, everybody. It will get okay. And yet I'm still sitting with and having to hold space for just this bombardment of people belittling me. And that's not everybody. It's just a backlog. It's a churning out of all the many ways that I've let myself be messed around with. I've let myself be diminished and used. And maybe there are more women who feel this way. Maybe there aren't. I don't know. But waking up to this feeling like, "Oh, it's okay, Molly, you're not to blame. You were just programmed to follow the rules. And part of the rules was that your body was to be used for his pleasure, for his gratification." And now I realize that my body is mine, and it's my gift, and it's my joy, and it's my pleasure. And I don't know what to do for people because the feelings are what we need to shift, the densities of the feelings. And I know that we can't tell each other. It would just be nice if we could just be there for one another and if we could just support one another without telling each other what to do or without trying to fix each other. Because the truth is, we can't. None of this is new, by the way. None of this is new. I'm not special, and neither are you. But we are all powerful. Not special like our power is unique, because the power that we seek is inherent in all of us. It's inherent. It's there. It's already there. We're all powerful. Part of the fearful illusion that we're seeing or perpetuating is actually the fact that we denied it. We denied it. You cut off from the power that we are. And so we've created all these systems and corporations and things around us, and sugar and smoking and whatever, to pretend like, oh, woe is us, just these lowly little flesh and blood humans. None of it's real. I'll tell you what's real, though. This is real. The heart, our heart, the feelings, the ebbs and flows. It's all real. What we see is not necessarily the real reality. It's a projected illusion, but all these feelings are the truth of it. So I guess I'll just endeavor to keep feeling until there's love, you know? That's what I do. That's what I share. That's all I'm really here to share, is like that you're safe to feel, and that the totality of your feeling experience is acceptable and loved. It's all loved. It's all held in love. And for a healthy, happy life, actually, if we're feeling stuff, it's like working on a fifth, sixth higher dimension, merging energetics from that broader perspective actually kind of really does create a miraculous life. Your body can heal anything really fast. Your body can ingest stuff that supposedly is bad, but have it not affect you badly. You're a miracle maker. You are miraculous. It's just remembering that and actually living from that point of attraction rather than buying into what everybody else is doing. And that's something that I'm more in tune with is like I'm just me. So other people trying to make me be like other things is like really irritating because I'm not interested in listening to other people's opinions. I'm not interested in buying into other people's way of being because I'm really joyful. I'm really happy being me. And that's like what most people find really perplexing is like they see all of this emotion or like, wow, that's scary. I'm like, maybe for you. It's not for me. In fact, the other is more scary. Living in denial of one's feelings, that's frightening to me. The darkness that that breeds is like super scary versus just people who feel and express and be. If there's denial of feeling, there's manipulation and control. That's limited. That's disempowered. I have no desire for that. It's intolerable at this point with the awareness that we have. I'm gonna go. I have no idea if I'll post this or not, but I needed to vent because sometimes one just has to like get stuff off their chest. Because I feel really good and really whole and really able to share this perspective of wholeness and oneness with you. Just aware that sometimes I think people are too busy judging me than actually listening to what I'm saying. And that's okay. That's my own stuff. It's coming up for me to transform all that judgment, all that oppression.